Whoa. What's up, everybody? Actually, me here, back again with another unboxing before artificial intelligence takes over and we're all just watching AI-generated slop unboxings. Seriously, have you guys seen that Google Gemini AI-generated video? It's pretty freaking scary, man. It's this close to being virtually indistinguishable from reality. And I just want to know who's going to be the first person to make an AI-generated video of Uncle Randy up on the front deck catching them with forward-facing sonar. But today, I have this month's 6-sack from 6 Cents Fishing. I have a new fishing reel. I have a couple rods over here. We're going to figure out what rod we're going to put that reel on, what kind of line we're going to use, all that good stuff. We're going to rig up a new reel on a new rod, unbox the 6-sack. I also want to do a little bit of tackle tinkering. And yeah, that's going to be it. Just going to chill. It's going to be a nice, easygoing unboxing slash tackle tinkering rod rigging video. And I do appreciate you guys for taking time out of your day to join me for this one. I think we're going to kick it off with this. Normally I save these to the end of the video, but I think we're going to crack into it first thing in this one. But really quick, I want to throw things over to our correspondent to let you guys know about something really cool that's going on over at 6 Cents Fishing. My signature Heater Series rods are now on sale on 6centsfishing.com. $75 heater. Happy early Memorial Day. For the Memorial Day sale, we're doing buy one, get one 50% off on all Heater Series rods. No code required. Just add 2 rods of any kind from the Heater Series to your cart and the discount is automatically applied at checkout. We got you covered on all the techniques with the Heater Series. We got 7.5 medium, 6.9, 7.4, 7.2, 7.8 extra heavy. We got the swizzle sticks. We got it all available in the Heater Series. Every Heater Series rod is gonna come with one of these awesome protective sleeves, and I have a little something for everybody, no matter what you like to do. If you guys have any specific questions about lengths, power, action, technique, drop it down below and I'll answer everybody. If I could recommend any 2, I'm gonna say get the 6.9 medium moderate and the 7.4 medium heavy mod fast. These things are in it to win it. I freaking love the Heater Series. I'm extremely proud of these rods. I poured my heart and soul into designing these things with 6 Cents. I think you guys are gonna love them if you try one, and now is the best time, one of the best times ever to pick up a couple heaters. Buy one, get one 50% off. That's a tough deal to beat. Memorial Day, buy one, get one 50% off on all Heater Series rods. Just add 2 to your cart and you're good to go. Thank you, me, for letting everybody know about the buy one, get one 50% off deal that is currently running for Memorial Day on 6 Cents Fishing. You guys check it out, man. There's no better time to scoop a Heater Series rod than right now. $75 heater, I mean, come on, buddy. In addition to that, they got a bunch of really cool deals going on over on 6centsfishing.com and on waterlandco.com. 70% off select items through Waterland. So you guys check out the websites. Punch in that JR10 for the win on 6 Cents Fishing, and JR15 will save you 15% off all the non-discounted items. But really cool Memorial Day sales going on. Buy one, get one 50% off on the Heater Series rods, and it would mean so much to me if you guys would go pick up a Heater Series rod or 2. The fact of the matter is, the more rods that we can sell through 6 Cents, the more actions, powers, and links, the more models, the more iterations, the more we're going to be able to expand the Heater Series in the future. So thank you to everybody that's out there fishing with the Heater Series rod. You guys are freaking awesome. Also, $20 hats still going on the Heater Zone. I counted earlier, I have 10 hats left. So if you guys want to get a heater hat, you better do it now because they are moving fast. Thank you guys so much for your support. But let's crack off into the 6-sack, and then we'll open the rod and we'll just move things along from there. I'm gonna bust out my Berg Blades Bottle Butcher. Shout outs to my boy Matt over at Berg Blades. It's a really cool piece of EDC gear. If you check out Berg Blades and pick yourself up a Bottle Butcher, make sure you tell them that old JR sent you. Let's see what 6 Cents has in store for us this month in the 6-sack. The 6-sack, of course, you guys have heard me mention it time and time again on the channel, as I have been a 6-sack subscriber for years now. This is 6 Cents monthly bait subscription service where they pick the heaters, send them to your doorstep, build your tackle pile, tackle mile without ever having to leave the house. You guys know the deal. This sack feels pretty stacked. Let's go ahead and get off into it. Should I just dump it out? Sometimes there are like exclusive baits, exclusive colors, unreleased product in here, and I like to, Blaze has that box already running around with it. I like to sort of keep it a mystery, you know, but a lot of times, you know, I tease these things out and the video ends up getting super long. We have a lot to do today, so I think I'm just gonna dump these out onto the table in front of me. And we'll see what we got this month. There's the sack. Every sack comes with a sack, makes sense. All right, there's some heat in here. We got some heat, boys. Let's start off with the terminal tackle. Pack of 3/0 jugular round bend worm hooks right there. Can never have too much terminal tackle. Add those to the 6 cents terminal binder that I keep in my boat. We got some grasshopper Shindig 3.2s, the grasshopper. Nice, dude. It does look like a grasshopper. Look at the grasshopper, Wheeze. New color on the Shindig that I have never seen. It's like green pumpkin on top and then like a sort of like a ghost shad with a bunch of different colors of flake on the belly. That's a really cool little color right there. I like that. Even looks like a grasshopper. Grasshopper, the hopgrasser, Johnny 5. You guys seen a robot running around here? Sort of looks like a metal grasshopper. My girlfriend and I just watched Short Circuit 2 like a week ago, and we loved watching that movie together. I grew up watching that movie. Shout outs to Johnny 5. Johnny 5, come alive. The Shindig 3.2, soft plastic item number 1 out of this month's 6 sack. Rig this up on a drop shot or throw it on a little micro bladed jig. Those are the 2 ways that I like to utilize it. BFS and on the swizzle stick with the drop shot. Shindig, killer little rig. I think I have, let me see here. Anyways, I thought I had a drop shot hook. I was gonna show you how I rig this thing up. I'm struggling to find it. And I swear I had a drop shot hook length. There it is. I see it, I found it. I knew I was telling the truth. So the Shindig, you just sort of, how I rig it, the grasshopper, is I just nose rig that sucker right there like that. Super soft plastic on that drop shot. You're gonna let the water do the work. Just slowly drag this thing out there, if not dead stick it, and just let those little ribbons, those little tentacles, make sure you boop, pop the flaps apart. Just let those do the work down there on the ocean floor. Speaking of the ocean floor, obviously this is a freshwater bait, but 6 cents Salty 6 just launched, so they're now specializing in saltwater baits as well. You guys check out the new saltwater baits from 6 cents. But there's the Shindig. There's how I rig it on a drop shot. I also like throwing it on that little tiny chatterbait micro, the BFS chatter. Next up, we got some green pumpkin bongos. Hitting the bongos, one of my favorite swim jig slash bladed jig trailers right here. The green pumpkin bongo. Can never have too many bongos. If you guys saw my tackle wall tour video, one video back here on the channel, you saw where I have 2 full pegs of bongos. Love this bait. I utilize it in a multitude of ways. Back of a swim jig, back of a bladed jig. There it is on the back of a Conda swim jig right there. There's another one on the back of another Conda swim jig right there. And right there. You can also Texas rig it, back of a bladed jig. It's killer on a chatterbait. You can rig it horizontal like this, which is how I typically do it to give myself the best of both worlds, both crawfish and baitfish style paddling. But you can turn it sideways. Here's a hybrid jig. You can turn it sideways and rig it vertical like that. So you get that alternating tail flick like that right there. It's an excellent, just normal jig trailer for the hybrid jig. That's the green pumpkin bongo 3.7. Super versatile bait. Drag it, swim it, flip it. That's one of my confidence heaters right there. So there's 2 soft plastics and a pack of terminals. Next up, we got an axle swinging swim jig. That's a nice little bluegill pattern axle swim jig. This swim jig right here is like the best swim jig for fishing through heavy cover or heavy grass because it's got this swinging EWG style hook. Ugh, get that skirt busted loose there. Bust loose. All right, so quick explanation on the axle. Why pick up an axle? So you can see the jig head actually rotates on the hook, swings back and forth It's got a little screw lock bait keeper hidden down there in the skirt. So you take your bait, screw it onto the screw lock, and then it's gonna let you run that 100% weedless with an EWG style hook. Text pose it or even leave the hook point buried and it'll come through anything. I mean, it'll literally swim through anything. It's an excellent heavy cover, heavy grass, wood, awesome swim jig for throwing into the thick stuff. That's the Axle swinging swim jig. 6/0 hook on that one. Big stout 6/0, 3/8 ounce candy bluegill is the color. Couple hard baits in this month's 6-sack as well. You got the Movement 80X and the Provoke 106X. This Movement 80, a little bit different, more elongated, very wide swinging action on this shallow diving crankbait. You're gonna get down to like the 3-foot range with this thing. Yeah, dives 3 feet. It's got a rounded lip, that beautiful chartreuse black back color there. You got the orange on the chin, red eyes, black back on that bright chartreuse. Super sticky, tournament grade hooks and hardware on all 6 cents hard baits. Ready to go, straight out of the box. You do not need to upgrade your bait. No switcheroo required. Just take it out, fish it, catch giants. I love the Movement 80 Wake, but the Movement 80X is another awesome shallow water option when you want to show those fish just something a little bit different than your traditional square bill crankbait. This right here, this is the best hard bait in the sack this month, no doubt. This is that Morning Dawn Provoke 106X, one of my favorite colors. The Pressure Series, they feature the Morning Dawn heavy in the Pressure Series. Everything from the PD4 up to the PD16. Got them all back here. And you can see right there on front, Morning Dawn, Morning Dawn. It's one of my favorite colors. The fish eat the pink, and that right there is an incredibly awesome, natural, sort of matte pink. A little bit of gloss on there, but very natural, not too bright, just enough to give it that sort of rose pink glow to it. As you can see, the body's sort of like ghosts. You can see everything going on inside of there. Bright, loud rattles. A couple different BB sizes on the inside of the Provoke. You got the larger BBs in front, smaller ones in the middle, so you're getting a couple different frequencies. It's also weighted back there in the back so that when you cast it, you're gonna be able to bomb this thing out there a long way, twitch it back to the boat. The Provoke 106, throwing this on the 6.9 medium moderate heater series. Excellent jerkbait rod. That's my favorite bait so far out of the sack this month. Something I just thought about is how I have a lot of these baits already. And I'm gonna hang on to these grasshopper shindigs, but the rest of this stuff, the Movement, the Provoke, the Axle, I'm gonna be giving this stuff away on my Instagram. So if you wanna have a shot at me sending you a couple free baits, just follow me over on Instagram at @TheJustinRoyal, and I'll figure out a cool way to give those away. Pay attention to my story. That's where we do all the fun stuff. All right, next up, what do we got? Boost of shaky worms. Blaze, stop it. Be quiet, buddy. We're trying to film a video. You gotta keep your pipe down, short stack. Boost of shaky worm. This is my favorite worm lately. Honestly, the Boost of shaky worm, really, really soft. Like a lot of action going on with this thing. It's got this ribbed body. It's not very bulky. It's very soft. And that allows this thing to just dance around down there on the bottom. It is a shaky worm, but honestly, I've been fishing it on the old TR. Texas rigging this has produced some really awesome bites for me, especially around grass. This is the Mamba Magic color. It's a black smoke color with blue, red, a little bit of green flake going on in there. But the Boosa shaky worm, super heater. Love that worm. Have a whole peg dedicated to the Boosa shaky worm on my tackle wall. Check out that silver play button back there. Thank you guys so much for the support here on YouTube. All right, exclusive color in the Aussie 4.0 going out in this month's 6-sack. So one of the cool things about being a 6-sack subscriber is sometimes they throw colors that you can't even buy anywhere unless you are a 6-sack subscription holder. This is an exclusive color in the Aussie 4.0. Oh, check that out, dude. It's like a swirl. It's like a ghost shad swirl color. That's really cool. That's neat, dude. All right, and that rounds out the 6-sack. Not a bad sack this month. You guys let me know which one of those baits was your favorite. Follow me over on Instagram. I'll be paying it forward. I have enough provokes. As you can see, I have so many pegs of provokes back there on the wall. I'm going to pay it forward and just toss these out to one of you guys over on Instagram. I'll think of something really cool for us to do. It'll be absolutely free to enter. You won't have to do anything, but just make sure you're following me on Instagram at the Justin Royal. If Instagram isn't your thing, I have a Facebook page, and all my stories are cross-posted on both Instagram and Facebook, so you can just follow the Facebook page and watch my story there, and you can still get in it to win it. But let's crack off into this reel. I ordered this reel off of, can you guess where? Amazon. Because, because I don't know why. I was just shopping around on Amazon, needed a reel, got here quick. You know, the Prime shipping, sometimes I can't resist. I picked up another one of these bad boys right here. This is a reel that I have unboxed here on the channel before. You guys know I love the 70 size reels, and I only have one of these, so I wanted to grab another one. Blaze, chill. He goes after everything I throw on the ground. He cannot help himself. This is the SLX DC 70. So it's a DC reel, digitally controlled braking system. It's got some scientific computer gizmo in here that measures the spool rotation like 1,000 million times a second, and applies braking pressure as needed while you're casting. I'm not even gonna throw that on the ground because he's gonna see, he wants it. He can't have it. Blaze, you can't have it. But anyways, here's a look at the SLX DC 70. I love the 70 size spools, and yeah. Want to grab me another one of these 70 DCs. 6.3 to 1 on the gear ratio so that I can throw moving baits or crankbaits. And to be honest with you, I'm not really sure what rod I want to put this on. I have a couple sitting over here to the side. I have a couple 7.5 heavies and a 6.9 medium. Hey! I'm leaning towards the 6.9 medium moderate because it's my most versatile rod out of the entire Heater Series lineup. I use it for the most techniques. And I was thinking that I would throw braid on here and then tie a leader, and then I could cut the leader off and use straight braid for like top water stuff. 6.3 to 1 really lends itself well to moving baits like the crankbaits. What do you guys think I should do? What rod do you think I should put this on? I'm gonna think about this. All right, so I've thought about it, and I think I am going to go with my original plan here. We're gonna do the 6.9 medium moderate. I'm gonna do braid to fluorocarbon leader, and I'm gonna use this for throwing everything from poppers, top water walking baits, and then I'll use the leader if I wanna throw a moving bait like a shallow crankbait or a jerk bait. Should I just put straight fluorocarbon on it? I'm struggling here, guys. I'm struggling. Maybe I should just go straight fluorocarbon. I think that might be the deal. I think that's what we're gonna do. People calling me left and right in this video. So yeah, I think that's gonna be the move. I think I'm gonna go 6.9, medium moderate, and I think I'm gonna put just straight fluorocarbon on here. I was gonna go braid to leader. I keep going back and forth in my head. I'm not quite sure what I should do. Hello. Hey, what's up?
I just had a thought, a random thought while I was walking the dogs.
That's 3 phone calls in a row in this video. I'm struggling on whether or not I should put braid to leader on this and try to have it a little bit more versatile so that I can use it for moving baits as well as top water baits potentially. But I do have a couple 6.9s rigged up with braid already, or just throw straight fluorocarbon on it. You can still throw a popper on fluorocarbon. Also the 6.3 to 1. I like the 7 to 1 for my top water baits. I'm gonna think about it for a little bit longer. You guys drop me a comment, give me some advice, even though I won't be able to read it until after I post this, so it makes 0 sense. Do it anyway. Click the like button, help more people find the channel. Thank you for your support. Let's do some quick tackle tinkering while I ponder what I should do with the new reel, what rod I should pair it up with. I've got this Spro rat right here, which I'd love to throw. It's one of the smaller ones. I don't even know the size. That one up there is the Spro Rat 50. So I think this one's like, it's not the 30. There's one bigger than this. It's the small Spro Rat. I had the 30 at one point, and I was gonna try to convince 6 Cents to do a version of a top water rat style bait, and I gave it to Casey, and then nothing ever happened with that. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and replace the hooks on this thing because they are rusted out, and I made a recent trip and picked up some treble hooks so that I could run my 6 Cents treble head line throughs. I got some ST36 BC number 4s, and I have some KVD Elite triple grip number 6s here. and I want to replace the hooks on this rat, and I think one of these sizes will be perfect for it. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna use these Texas Tackle split ring pliers right here to remove the hooks. Having a good set of split ring pliers makes this so incredibly easy. These are the orange Texas Tackle split ring pliers. I have the yellow ones as well, but I use the orange ones the most. And as you guys can see, I mean, that was it. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Quick and easy. This little Spro rat right here is really cool. I dig it. Let's get these split rings off. Why are there two? Which one did the... Uh-oh. One of them has two on it. I guess that's probably the... I should have paid attention. I should have paid better attention to which one had two on it. I guess I'll be able to... It probably doesn't matter, and I probably only need one anyway. I think two split rings is probably just adding potential for failure. So I'm going to remove one of these. Hopefully it doesn't have anything to do with the action, but I guess we'll find out. So replacing hooks on a swim bait. These Spro hooks are absolutely cooked. I'm going to throw those in the trash. They are rusted out. And then I'm going to grab, I think I'm going to use these owner stingers. Grab two of these little guys. Oh my gosh, come loose, please. Do not want to get poked by these hooks. They're slightly larger than the hooks that came off, but I think they'll work just fine. So, two brand new owner stinger ST36 BC size 4 hooks to go on our Spro rat. I should probably be replacing the split rings on this as well. Actually, let's do that. These are those little shiny stainless split rings, and they're kind of crappy. I actually have a Swank 66X right here that I pulled the hooks off of, and these 6 cent split rings, as mentioned, are ready to go tournament grade straight out of the box. So I'm gonna steal these split rings off of this Swank, put them on this rat. I think that'll work just fine. Yeah, these are higher quality. I can tell just by holding them in my hand. Let's throw hook number 1. You see how easy this is when you have a good pair of split ring pliers? I mean, it makes light work, quick work, switching out these hooks and hardware. Having the proper tools for a job makes things so much more enjoyable, so much smoother. It's incredible what having the right tool will do for the working process, and that goes for everything. I can't tell you how many times in my life growing up working on things, from cars to motorcycles, lawnmowers, anything mechanical, BMX bikes, whatever it was, a lot of times a job can be so tough if you're just missing one specific tool, and a lot of times there is a tool created specifically for certain jobs, and once you get that tool, it makes things just so much easier, and a pair of split ring pliers is a perfect example of that. You guys let me know, what specialized tools have you had to purchase in the past to get some work done? I'd be interested to know if you guys work on anything yourselves out there. I know I got a lot of tackle tinkerers as well as some mechanically inclined people that watch this channel, and yeah, having the right tool for the job, it just makes life so much easier. And as you can see, it did not take me any time at all to get this Spro rat back up and running with some fresh owner stinger hooks. If you guys want to see me throw this bait, stick around and subscribe to the channel. It's super fun, and I do catch fish on this thing, which is why I had to get it back up and running. You guys stick around to see us smashing largemouth on a rat. Summertime is rat time. Okay, and right now is decision time, and I'm just torn between putting Braid or straight fluorocarbon on the SLX DC. Now you'd think it's a DC reel. Here's one more look at it. I don't know how much I showed you guys this, since I do already have one. I didn't really do an up close and personal sort of, let you get your eyes on the SLX DC if you're considering picking one up. It's a really nice, really cool reel. It's got that awesome sort of like gunmetal graphite color with the blue accents. It's a really cool looking reel, really sturdy, feels good in the hand. You hear that buzzing or the zinging? There you go, that laser, pew pew, laser tag. Since it's DC, you'd think I want to utilize the DC tech and put fluorocarbon on there and control that spool speed as I'm casting fluorocarbon. Also, if I put Braid on here, it's a shallow spool, there's not a lot of room. I wouldn't be able to run a backing. I would have to put electrical tape on here to keep that braid from slipping around the spool. because I wouldn't want to take up too much of my capacity by running a backing, which is what I would prefer to do. So putting electrical tape on my brand new reel, while I've done it many times in the past, that sort of makes me lean towards fluorocarbon. But one of the reasons I wanted to use Braid in this video is because of this big box right here. I have to show you guys, even if we don't use any right now, always cut away from yourself if you can. This box was sent into the channel by Reaction Tackle, and it is stacked full of Braid. This is sick. Check this out, dude. Look at all this. Look at all this line they sent in. Now, you might be asking yourself, what do you need all that line for? I don't. Reaction Tackle 100% PE braided line. I've been using Reaction Tackle line for a while now. I originally found it online at random, ordered some, and I've been loving it. The price is right. And recently they reached out and asked me if I wanted to do a little give back collaboration. So we're doing something really cool, not for me, but for you guys. These spools are for you. Specifically for any of you that I might run into out there in the world. If I see you on the water, if I see you in Bass Pro, if you meet me anywhere randomly, I'm gonna have these spools in the boat and in the truck, and I've got both 10-pound braided line. Check out this. This is so sick, dude. Check that out. It's got this awesome blue, 100% PE braided line, this sick blue color, 50-pound braid, and they also gave me a bunch of 10-pound braid in that same sick blue color. Got some other stuff right here, the moss green. We got these really cool colors, a bunch of different line options. I'm gonna have this at the ready, and if you guys see me anywhere out there in the world or on the water, say what's up and I will give you a free spool of braid, just like that, just for saying hi. Shout outs to Reaction Tackle for sending this into the channel, for hooking it up. Really tempted to use some of this braid. I just don't know what to do. I'm gonna take a peek here. There's a bunch of different stuff in this box, and I'm excited to bump into one of you guys out there on the water and hook you up with a free spool of braid. Whether you like to do the heavy stuff, we got the 50-pound, or if you like to throw the swizzle stick, shake a minnow, we got that 10-pound. So no matter what kind of fishing you like to do, I got you covered. I got you on a free spool. If you see me on the water and you recognize my boat, please come say hi so that I can hook you up. I will have these in the locker. So sick, dude. Extremely tempted to use this braid on my new reel and just do braid to leader, man, because Reaction Tackle was so cool to send us all this. I want to bust out one of these spools of this blue because this stuff looks awesome. It's blue camo. Check that out. Blue camo, 10-pound braid. We're gonna have to get this rigged up on one of the swizzle sticks ASAP. But this line is for you guys. It's not for me. Yeah, I got 10-pound in both the moss green and the blue camo. So whatever you guys prefer, if you see me on the water, just let me know and I'm gonna pay it forward, hook you guys up. Thanks to Reaction Tackle. That's really cool of them. That's a really cool deal. Yeah, I can't help it, dude. I think it's only right. All right, I just cannot help myself. They've included this small promotional 150-yard spool of their moss green 50-pound braid. And I currently don't have any of my reels set up with braid to leader. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take this brand new SLX 70 DC reel. I'm gonna put some electrical tape on that spool. We're gonna rig this sucker up with this 50-pound braid, and we're gonna tie a fluorocarbon leader. It'll be a cool way for me to show you guys how I rig up a braid to leader setup, and it'll enable me to utilize this baitcaster for a multitude of techniques, everything from top water to cranking, moving baits. Braid to leader is something that I used to do a lot of and I don't do much of anymore, but we're gonna do it today. So let's get this thing spooled up. First things first, one quick small layer of electrical tape around the arbor, AKA the spool. Then we'll tie an arbor knot and get this thing done. I've done many rod spooling videos here on the channel before. Got a small little spooling station set up over here to my right. And if you've seen one, you've seen them all. So I think I'm just gonna bounce forward. This video is probably getting pretty long at this point. You guys can go watch many of my other, if you see a real unboxing video on the channel, chances are if you watch it, you're gonna see my entire spooling process because I've done this many times. But basically, we're putting this one single layer of electrical tape around the spool, just like that. Nobody will ever know that's in there. I got it done clean. That might be the cleanest electrical tape application to a spool that I've ever done right there. Yeah, that looks perfect. I'm gonna grab my 6'9" medium moderate, which is what I've decided on. One more time, guys. BOGO50, no code required. Buy one, get one, 50% off on 6thsensefishing.com right now on the heater series. Don't sleep, $75 heater. I think that's the best deal that they've ever run. All right, so there that is. Let's get her cleaned off there. I'm gonna spool this up. One thing I always do when I spool up a new reel is I feed the line through every line guide on the rod, and that helps me keep adequate tension because you want good tension on that line while you're spooling it up. But I'm gonna use this Reaction Tackle 50-pound moss green braid one last time. Shout outs to Reaction Tackle. If you guys see me on the water, you better not be shy. Come say hi so that I can hook you up with some free braid courtesy of Reaction Tackle. You know, if you're cool, if you're super cool, who knows, man, I might give you a spool of each, 10 and 50. Shout out to Reaction Tackle for wanting to do something positive for the fishing community. I'm always trying to pay it forward, give back, and share the love because I've been extremely blessed. And to be honest with you, I could never go through all of the fishing equipment that I have been fortunate enough to own in my life. So anytime I can, any chance I get, I'm gonna try to give back to you guys and pay it forward, just like I'm gonna do with the 6-sack baits, just like I'm gonna do with this braid. And we're gonna keep it positive and try to shine our light bright out there into the world, because the world can be a dark place sometimes. And I think it's important to try to leave the earth a little bit better than how we found it. And I want to have a positive effect on all who encounter me out there in the world. I have not always been the best at doing that in the past. I fall short. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I sin. But I do my very best to be the best human that I can possibly be in all circumstances, and giving back to you guys, the people who have supported me and supported this channel and helped me get that silver play button mounted up back there on the tackle wall. It's probably my favorite way to do it. So thank you guys so much for the love and support. Hit the like button on the video for Reaction Tackle. Free braid. Let's get this freaking heater spooled up, mounted up, fresh reel. We're gonna tie braid to leader. We're gonna figure out what bait we're gonna tie onto this sucker. And that'll be it for this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna pop a little hole through this spool really quick. And I've got a little line spooler. Hang on, I'll be right back. Got these two 7.5 heavy fast heaters right here, and I got a couple 7.5 mediums that I'm not currently using. If you see me on the lake and you're really cool, you never know, I might just hook you up with a free heater along with your braid. Best believe I have done it before, I just didn't film it. But every once in a while, I'll go ahead and just toss one of these out to somebody. Shine that light bright. Don't be shy. Come say hi. All right, dudes. I got the line fed all the way down. The line guides on the rod. And normally, I'll just poke around and feed the line all through and around the reel until I get it coming back up through the top, and then tie my knot. But one thing that you can do that I wanted to show you, while it's not something that I do every time, especially with fluorocarbon, because sometimes the line can get pinched, but you can, let me get this open. You can take the side plate off, and you can pull the spool all the way out like this. This is the arbor. It's the technical term. Then you got to take your line, make sure you feed it through the frame of the bait caster, like this right here. And then you can just tie your arbor knot out here with the spool freed up to where you don't have to do all the, you know, little laser obstacle course going through all the little, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to do all the dancing and feeding, which is typically how I do it. I just poke it down, then poke it back up. It's still easy, but this is another way that you can do it. Like I said, if you're gonna do it like this though with fluorocarbon, Just be really careful that you don't pinch that line when you're reinstalling the spool, because that can and will and does happen, which is sometimes why I don't prefer to do it that way. I've had people ask me, why don't you just take the spool out? Well, when I'm spooling up fluorocarbon, I don't want that line getting nicked, even if it is way down at the bottom of the spool. But for braid, I think we're pretty safe. So that's what we're gonna do. You guys see it there. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. We're tied up, we're tied on. Let's take a look at the inside of this Shimano. Looks greased up, not dirty, clean. These 6 cents shears, dude, they cut braid like nobody's freaking business. I mean, yeah, that's awesome. They just snip, snip, no issue. All right, I got my arbor knot tied down. Tie an arbor knot, and then I tie a simple overhand knot on top of the arbor knot. Reinstall the spool. Make sure you're good to go there. Reinstall your side plate. Lock it back down, and we're good to go. We're ready to fill this sucker up with new line. Now, a lot of you may be saying, well, that's obvious. Of course, you can just take the spool out and tie it on like that. Well, some people are newer to fishing, they're newer to baitcasters, and they're newer to spooling up their own baitcasters. And if you're like me in the past, sometimes I just don't even think about it. I always do the poke the line down, grab it, poke the line back up, go up here, tie it. That's something that I've always done, and it became quite easy to me the more I did it. So sometimes I don't even think about removing the spool. So that was just a little tip for those of you that may not have ever thought of that before. That used to be me in the past. But like I said, just be careful if you're doing straight fluorocarbon, because you don't want to nick that line. But anyways, I digress. I'm sort of repeating myself now. That's what happens when you're an actual human and you're not artificial intelligence. You reiterate and you double speak. But anyways, let's get this spooled up. Some braid from Reaction Tackle. Tighten the drag down. That's another tip. Make sure your drag is tight. You don't want that drag slipping while you're trying to do this. You want adequate pressure on the rod, and you want the rod tip to be bent slightly, not too much, but it should feel like you're fighting in a small fish. That's what I always say. I'm just gonna fill this up to maximum capacity. That's another thing. You want your spool filled to maximum capacity, because it was designed to operate with a full spool. You guys have heard me say this before in the past. These are things that I have touched on many times here on the channel. We're almost full here, a couple more times back and forth. And now I've got about enough room for my leader. As you can see, she's pretty freaking stacked. I don't want to go too much. You don't want to go too little. That right there is full. All right. Take these 6 cents shears one more time and just snip that braid like it's nothing. My Reaction Tackle spool wrapped back up, set off to the side. That's one little promotional spool, but you guys, you guys saw how much braid there is in that box, and that's all going out to you guys. So please come find me on the water, say hello, and I will hook you up. All right. Have you guys used Reaction Tackle braid before? Let me know. Now, I need to figure out what size leader I want to run on here. I think 12-pound fluorocarbon is going to be about perfect. Man, I had stuff all over my shirt in this whole video. You guys didn't say nothing. Look at me. Looking like I roll around in the grass outside. Whatever, I might have. What's it to you? All right, so something I've talked about in the past, something I'm going to talk about again right now. All right, connection knot time. I'm going to tie a quick Alberto knot to connect my fluorocarbon. I've talked about this knot here on the channel in the past. I've also talked about how I'm not the best at teaching people how to tie knots, but there are plenty of detailed videos out there. My advice when it comes to knots is just use the one that you are the most confident in and the one that you can tie the most efficiently, because that's going to be the knot that doesn't fail. And the best knot is the one that doesn't fail. So quick Alberto knot here. Real quick, you guys let me know what's your favorite connection knot. I know a lot of people like that double uni. There's the FG knot. See what else is there. The blood knot, the double blood knot, the double bubble cola, the triple double bubble cola, and all the other stuff that tickles your teeth. You want to trim those tag ends really close, pretty close, because they can knock against the line guides. If you're not careful, you don't get them trimmed up nice and snug. Something else you can do is you can take a lighter and be very careful. You can singe that tag just a little bit, melt it down just like that. There you go. I don't know how well you guys can see. There it is on my thumb. That's my connection knot, the Alberto. Nice and snug. And I'm just gonna run, you know, a couple, come on now. Just a couple real cranks until that fluorocarbon gets all the way down onto my spool. And that's about it. Not gonna run too much for this one. Can always retie the leader later. So I'm gonna stop about right there above the bait keeper. The reason for that is it's gonna keep my knot from banging onto the line guide on the reel. Just knot preservation is what I've got in my head right now. I'm not gonna run too long of a leader for those reasons. I mentioned earlier that I stopped running braid to leader. I run braid to leader on all my spinning setups, but it's been a while since I've done it on a bait caster. So just trying to go for knot preservation here. The leader doesn't need to be too long. And there it is. Now we're set up, braid to leader for a jerk bait, a shallow crankbait, a popper. You can run a popper with fluorocarbon, even though fluorocarbon sinks, the little poppers like the Splashback 70 or the Pop R, they do really well with a little bit of fluorocarbon. Because it digs down into the water just a little bit, gets you blooping. But I think it's only right if we grab a bait off of our newly reconstructed tackle wall. I think the bait that I'm gonna go with is one of the two first crankbaits that I ever bought from 6th Sense. This is a Crush 50X, my favorite square bill of all time, and sexified chartreuse shad. I was at Bass Pro the other day and I saw a couple of these on the pegs, and I don't even know if they're still manufacturing this color, but it is one of my favorites. And like I said, it's one of the very first crankbaits that I ever threw from 6th Sense. So I think that's what we're gonna go with on this new setup right here. That'll be perfect to throw on this little braid to leader rig that we got going. We'll get this tied on really quick. San Diego Jam. There we go. Boom. Brand new SLX 70 DC on the 6'9" medium moderate, braid to leader, courtesy of Reaction Tackle. Seagar is the fluorocarbon line that I prefer to use. Seagar invented fluorocarbon, fun fact. So why would you want to use anything other than the people who actually invented the stuff? Alberto knot for the connection knot, San Diego Jam, the knot going to the bait. 6.3-to-1 gear ratio on the SLX DC 70. 6'9" medium moderate is absolutely dialed for the Crush 50 sexified chartreuse shad Crush 50X from 6th Sense Fishing. You guys check out the BOGO 50 buy one get one 50 deals going on for the heater series on 6thsensefishing.com. Grab yourself a couple Crush 50Xs while you're at it. Say hi to me on the water if you want to spool a free braid. I appreciate you guys for taking time out of your day to watch this video, but that's about all I got for you today. That about does it. That about wraps her on up. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I will see you on the next one.